It's time for the Habs to play Let's Make a Deal. Will the 2023 Montreal Canadiens trade deadline sound like this? Or more like this? You know how this goes. Every year around this time, there is so much hype around the trade deadline. The waiting with bated breath. Will there be big blockbuster trades? Will there be gigantic fails? Which GMs are going to super succeed, look crafty, creative, and really smart with their trade moves? Which GMs are going to fall flat on their faces? Which teams are just going to kind of have a kind of end to their trade deadline? It's a great time of year, very exciting for hockey fans. A reminder that the trade deadline this year is on a Friday. It's on Friday, March 3rd, 3 p.m., so we are just about a week away from the trade deadline. The heat is officially on. Let's make a deal. Kent Hughes, those phone lines are open. His motto should be call early and often. The Montreal Canadiens need to be sellers at the trade deadline. Today, I'm going to discuss 4 players on the Montreal Canadiens roster who could either bring cheers or jeers before the clock runs out on the trade deadline. And I have a very special message for all of you at the end of the video, so be sure you stick around to check it out. First up, Sean Monahan. This is kind of the obvious one because he has been the biggest mystery over the past weeks. Is he injured? Is he not? Is he ready to come back? Is he not? Is he skating? Is he not? Is he wearing a no-contact jersey? Is he not? What's his prognosis? What's his timeline? Nobody knows, apparently. And that has led to a lot of confusion and I think frustration. Sean Monahan has certainly benefited from a change of scenery, leaving Calgary, coming to Montreal. In his 25 games that he has played so far this season in a Montreal Canadiens sweater, he has 17 points, 6 goals, 11 assists. And so Sean Monahan is having a decent season. However, this injury that keeps coming and going, Marty St. Louis said something to the effect of, last week, really kind of feel like he's kind of plateaued in his what kind of a comment is that? Why is that part of the trade deadline drama for Kent Hughes? Well, Sean Monahan wasn't brought to the Canadiens to be a long-term piece of the puzzle or the solution. It's completely up in the air as to whether Sean Monahan will even be healthy to be on the trade block. Next up, we have Evgenii Dadonov. Now, here is, everyone was fond of in the preseason. He did that, get to know you interview, and it was Big Daddy Dadonov, and everyone was really excited about Evgenii Dadonov, and that excitement quickly cratered. It kind of fell off a cliff once the season got rolling. Now, don't get me wrong. He's played 48 games so far this season, and he's got 18 points, 4 goals, and 14 assists. Any of the insiders in the NHL who are talking about the trade market for Montreal, Dadonov does seem to be the name that people are calling about. So if there is a possibility to move someone, Dadonov, I think probably has the best shot. Why is that trade deadline drama? Well, because going into the beginning of this season, I don't think Dadonov was projected or hoped to be the guy that had the best potential of getting traded before the deadline. It'll be interesting to see, if anything, what kind of return Kent Hughes can get for Evgenii Dadonov. Joel Edmundson. We come to Joel Edmundson. Boy, this has been another kind of real disappointing season for Joel Edmundson. He's only played 39 games this season so far, and just 6 points out of that, a goal and 5 assists. Edmundson certainly has value. There are plenty of teams that could use a Joel Edmundson on their back end. But Joel Edmundson absolutely now has injury-prone tag attached to him. That brings plenty of its own trade deadline drama. Unfortunately, I feel has probably driven his likelihood of getting traded before the deadline down severely. And again, in and out of the lineup, who knows at this point, fingers are completely crossed that he would even be healthy to be traded by March 3rd. Injuries have just really created a big gaping hole for Kent Hughes coming into the trade deadline. And that brings us to Jonathan Drouin. If you have listened to our podcasts at all, if you've watched this channel at all for any length of time, you will know that it is no secret that I believe that Jonathan Drouin should have been gone from the Montreal Canadiens roster a couple of seasons ago. Jonathan Drouin is very far removed from really having a substantially positive contribution to the Montreal Canadiens on-ice product. Your return on investment for Jonathan Drouin has been in the negative for a very long time. I don't believe that they have a chance at all to trade Jonathan Drouin at the deadline. I think they're going to be stuck with him for the rest of the season. And hopefully this is the last season that we see Jonathan Drouin in the lineup. He has flashes of what people had hoped Jonathan Drouin would be on the ice, but it just never really gels and comes together and stays consistent. So plenty of drama there for sure. Kent Hughes has his hands full. My feedback form question for you this week is, how many trades do you think the Montreal Canadiens are actually going to make prior to 3 p.m. on Friday, March 3rd? I think it's only going to be one. And this was, the Canadiens were supposed to be big sellers at the trade deadline this year, and injuries happen to GMs all the time in this situation. Kent Hughes, I think, is also waited maybe a little too long, played that long game a bit too long, and injuries kind of backfired and bit him on this one. And now it's projecting that the Canadiens are going to have a quiet trade deadline, which is exactly not what they needed. They need to shed a lot off the cap. They've got way too much sitting on the cap. So it will be fascinating to see if Kent Hughes can work some magic and work those phones. Before I get to that special message that I mentioned at the top of the video, please hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this program each and every week and the information we provide for you here. Tap the notification bell, hit the like button, share this episode of this video on your favorite social media platform. We thank you for it. And that all really gets wrapped up and rolled right into that special message I mentioned. I just want to take a moment to say from the bottom of my heart and everyone here at Rocket Sports Media, a big thank you to all of you, because this video is the 50th episode of Habs Hockey Report. That's right, 50 episodes in, and March 3rd is our 1-year anniversary for Habs Hockey Report here on the All Habs Hockey Magazine YouTube channel. Now, our channel has been around for more than a decade, but in this past year, this first year of this show on our YouTube channel, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you have become new subscribers to the channel, and we are so grateful for your viewership, for every like and comment and share that you help us grow our audience. We couldn't do it without you, and we're so grateful for you. It's been an exciting first 50 episodes and first year of the show, and believe me, we have got so much more planned for the next 50 episodes and the next year of the show. So thank you to all of you. It's been quite a fun ride this past year, and I'm looking forward to bringing you more episodes each and every week. Last week, I happened to be right on the button when I talked about how Corey Schooneman could be the call-up to replace Arbor Xhekaj, but I also discussed some other options as well, other defensemen we might see in Xhekaj's absence. If you'd like to hear my takes on that, check out this video right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.